Hello, my viewers. As you know very well that to have a proper clean environment, there is a minimum percentage of the area should be covered with the forest. And the minimum which we are saying, it should be near about 33 percentage of the area should be covered with the forest. And when we look after the Indias, we are having 21.71 percentage of area is being covered with the forest area, which means or which shows that there is a still requirement of a forest covered area. Presently in India, we are having near about 7 lakh 13,789 square kilometer of area covered with a forest area. Among that, among the 28 states, Madhya Pradesh, which stands to the highest position, highest place in the forest covered area. India, vast nation with a different geographical area, different types of natural vegetation we see in the country called as India. We are having different forms of forest like evergreen forest, deciduous monsoon forest, tropical monsoon forest, alpine forest, mangrove forest, desert forest, mountain forest in this form. These forests, directly or indirectly, they are helpful to the human being also and to the home to the having a proper clean environment also. I'm talking about the chapter called India Forest Resources. The chapter has been already uploaded. You can go through my long videos, listen this carefully, which will help you to know about more about the different topics which are being given in the chapter called as Indian Forest Resources from the geography topic. Listen it carefully why I say it. It's because when you go through the video, when you go through my long videos, if you start observing, listening it, okay, if you spend a little bit of a time more on that topic, then only clearly the concept can be properly you can understand it. This is the reason I say always that watch the videos till up to the end, which will help to more clarify about the different topics. So here for you, I have brought up a very such questions, likely questions, which appeared many times in the exam and may be likely to be appear again for the next upcoming exams. These questions are having a lot of weightage in the chapter. On the base of that, I have brought up some of the very important questions for you from the chapter called Indian Forest Resources. Let us know regarding which are those questions which are have appeared in the exams and which may likely to come for the exams. So let us go one by one. So this is our chapter called as India Forest Resources from the chapter number 13 of the geography. Okay. So in my segment as usual, which I bring 2 marks question, 3 marks question as well as the 4 marks. So let us know which are the 2 marks questions, which are the 3 marks questions, or if the 4 marks are in there, we will go with the 4 marks. If it is not there, then 2 to 3 marks itself. So the first question is name any 4 types of natural vegetation found in India. We are having 6 types of natural vegetation. Maybe the question can be asked for the 2 marks or how many, because this question is having a weightage of only 2 marks. So there is a chances of only asking of 4 different types of natural vegetation. Among the 6, you are going to mention 4 types of natural vegetation. In the very next, mention the characteristics of deciduous monsoon forest it is. Okay, deciduous monsoon forest. Now here question, very important question in this in the number of forest. It's because it has been found the major character of deciduous monsoon forestry. It is that the trees shed their leaves is a major point in the topic called as a deciduous monsoon forest. So which brings a lot of weightage to this question. So what are the characteristics? Now, when we are saying about the characteristics, you are going to mention here how much of rainfall, what type of altitude it is been found, okay, what type of temperature, those things you have to mention it. So this is a characteristics regarding the deciduous monsoon forest. You are going to mention for how many marks? 2 marks. Now the very next question: why are mangrove forest of Gangetic Delta called Sundarbans now here? Okay, the major word is what? It's a Sundarban. It is why this area called as a Gangetic Delta, right? Where number of mangrove forests are been there covered with the Sundarbans. Why it is being called? Okay, why mangrove forest of Gangetic Delta are called as what? Sundarbans. Mangrove forest they are been formed by the tides. Okay, but here question is only regarding the forest at the Gangetic Delta. Okay, why it is built? So again, question what it is of 2 marks it is. List out the causes for the destruction of forest, and you very well know that day by day, present day, the trees are been or the forest area is been slowly it is been reducing. What are the reasons for that? Whether it is due to the human being itself or any other reasons are also be there. So those things you have to mention, but this is of how many marks? 3 marks it is question. Okay, naturally or by the man-made, how it is happening, what are the causes for that you have to mention. The very next, what are the measures taken for conservation of forest now? Okay, again for how many marks? 3 marks. Conservation in the sense protection of the forest. So for that, what steps has been taken? Whether by the human being, sorry, whether by the people or whether by the whom, by the government. What steps they have taken to what to save our forest, which we call it as a conservation of forest. Again, for how many marks? 3 marks. It is being asked. Now, very important, forest is an important resource to both man and environment now. Okay, it's a very important resource. So, how it is important? So, or in this question can be even asked in a very simple way, state the importance of the forest. So, here, how forest is important to us regarding those points you are going to mention. Okay, the question can be asked in the form of forest is an important resource to both man and environment. How? Or very straight question, state the importance of the forest. This can be asked. The very next question is what? Again, for the it was of 3 marks. So very next, differentiation between the tropical grassland and desert forest. Difference between them. Okay. So when we are saying the difference, then again the few things are very important. A few things are what? Area where they found. Next, how much of rainfall. Next, how much of temperature. Next, or different forms of the plants which are been found in the here and here, tropical grassland as well as the desert. So differentiate you have to mention 2 marks. So when we are saying 2 marks, again what it is for? It is for the 2 marks. So here you are going to mention 4 points you are going to mention. So differentiate you are going to do that. And lastly, the question very important. Name some biosphere reserves. We are having totally 18 biosphere reserves are there. Among that, few are been asked, 2 marks it is been asked, then it is nothing but you are going to mention 4 areas, 4 places, then this answer is going to be completed. So name some biosphere reserves are be where they are be there, you have to mention. Moreover, the chapter also consists of number of wildlife sanctuaries also as well as the national park. So there you have to make a perfect, because national parks and wildlife sanctuaries will be asked in the form of marking in the way in the map, as our last question of the question paper, which is of 5 marks, which says about or which directs us draw an outline map of India and mark the following points given below. In that, about national park as well as about the wildlife sanctuary can be asked. So you have to make a perfect on that. But these all questions will be directly. So again, I repeat it. Name any 4 types of natural vegetation found in India for 2 marks. Mention the characteristics of deciduous monsoon forest, 2 marks. Why are mangrove forests of Gangetic Delta called Sundarbans? List out the causes for the destruction of forest. What are the measures taken for conservation of forest? Forest is an important resource to both man and environment. How? 3 marks. Or importance of the forest. Differentiate between tropical grassland as well as the desert. And the last one, names him some biosphere reserves also. So these are the very very important question from the chapter called as Forest India Forest Resources. So go through my long videos. The chapter has been already uploaded regarding the forest resource, where clearly it has been explained about each and every topic given in the way in the chapter called as forest resource. And these all are the very very important questions from the way from the chapter called as India forest resources. Right. So let us once again meet in our next session with one more new topic regarding its important questions from those chapters, or it may be related to the explanation of the new chapter. Let us meet in our next session.